You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, can't see you.
Okay, you ready? Brace yourself.
Okay. Oh, what? Turn. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
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 I think it was Haniel. He said that appearance was really important and I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I chopped it all off.
uh-huh. Now you look like a skinhead. Are you are you
Well,
a fascist now?
the only reason I've been begging Kendra to let me cut my hair for like 3 years,
Uh-huh.
and she had a moment of weakness. And so I thought if I go extreme, then the meeting in the middle might I might end up with like a decent something that the youth group would approve of.
Not all the youth group, just Haniel. He read scripture for us yesterday and did it in English and Spanish, and then he's getting baptized next Sunday too. So
What?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yesterday we had a New Hope 101, and there were two couples that are fairly new to the church, and I think I overplayed you. I sold you way better than you really are. So I feel like I need to call them up and back off on it a little bit and just say mediocre might be more the appropriate thing.
I feel like we both have a bad habit of that. I don't know how many people I've told about you, and then after I have the conversation, I think, I hope they never run into
Oh, it's a good mutual admiration club.
him.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, what's up with you? That's all this is about.
Well, um, let's see. The big news was the hair. I mean, I was really hoping that would last an hour of conversation, but I
Yeah.
guess it didn't.
Well, it
Uh,
looks a lot like I'm not taking my hat off because I haven't taken a shower today, but it's pretty close to what I've been doing lately
yeah,
with the same sort of receding tendencies that my scalp has.
yeah. There's a lot
But I
of
like it. I think it's distinguished.
yeah. That's really what I'm going for. I'm trying to make up for all of my shortcomings by just looking the part.
There you go.
Um,
That's what I've tried.
yeah. The yeah, and so I guess the other big news other than my hair, hair is probably number one. Second, and I received permission from my wife
Okay.
to tell everyone at New Hope that we're having another baby.
There you go. And baby comes in at number two. A human life comes after your appearance. That says
Well,
a lot.
in terms of how shocking things are,
Okay, it
like
is. That's true. No,
so,
we knew you were I knew you were hoping
yeah,
for that eventuality before you got to us. So that'll be cool. Two kid family.
two kids. Second kid should be here in February. So
Okay.
uh, hopefully he or she doesn't steal my birthday. That's my only requirement.
Yeah.
So no, but
Well,
we're going through all things are very regimented
yeah.
here in Austria with childbirth and all of those things. So we started that process, so that's going, and we're very excited. And Marigold knows, however, like we explained it to her, she points at Kendra's belly and says baby, but
Hmm.
then she also points at her own belly and says baby. So
Okay. So
I don't
three kids?
I think it might be a comprehension issue. But
Mike,
she definitely is talking a lot more, which is an exciting thing that's happening.
that's fun times.
Just in the last like week or two, she started just repeating words and
Uh-huh.
family updates is that. And we just celebrated Marigold's second birthday last week. Well, her birthday was on the second, but we celebrated last weekend because we had an event during her birthday. And it was fun. We had like a pool party. We invited a bunch of people from the New City Bean, the church in Vienna. And I was carrying her through the water. We had like music in the background. Kendra had made up a bunch of like homemade. Kendra doesn't do anything halfway, so she
Right.
spent 2 days making all this food from scratch. And I was looking around and I thought, there's more kids at this 2-year old's birthday party than have come to any of my birthday parties. So she's doing pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
and
Good.
just surrounded by a lot of like not I mean they were all ages of kids and everybody was having a fun time. There's a pool, so um yeah, it was good. It was like one of those rare moments where you can capture like you're in it and you're able to stop and say this is a good moment.
Yeah.
And normally those for me happen after the fact and I think, man, that was such a good time. But I remember carrying around in the pool and I just kind of looked around and I was like, yep, this is this is good.
Yeah.
Um, so other categories, I guess we could do TCM.
Yes, sir. Tell me about it.
So last time we talked about session four, and since then we've had our summer conferences. So TCM does, well, at least at House Edelweiss, we do 8 sessions a year, which are like our bread and butter, copy and paste, like hosting 4 classes with people from like 15 different countries. Twice a year we do conferences, and then there's a couple other random scattered events. And the conferences are odd because they're not the same as everything else we do, so it throws all the staff for a loop. Like, no matter how many schedules you send out or how many like reminders, people are always like, "So are we doing this thing we always do, or is it different?" And but it's a good thing. Um, it keeps us on our toes, first of all. Second of all, it's the conferences create a lot of opportunities. So we had different groups of people on campus. The first group, twice a year, we host the theological department from the University of Bucharest. So everybody who's working on a PhD in that uh, department, they come to House Edelweiss twice a year. They use our resources, but more so they get away from their day-to-day life and they're able to have like this. It's like a week and a half period for them of just time away from all the busyness and also time with their professors face to face.
Mm-hmm.
And that's routinely just been a really interesting thing to do because you get put in this space with um, people that are doing very, very detailed, concentrated work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, half the time, they explain their subjects to you, and you're like, I didn't even know that that existed. And so lots of really cool discussions can come out of that. And at the same time, we hosted our faculty meetings. So as you can imagine, a faculty meeting with TCM is difficult to do because
Yeah.
faculty is everywhere. So we do one in May and one at the end of July. And so we brought all of them in. And so, like, on one side of campus, we've got these faculty meetings happening. On the other side, we've got the University from Bucharest. And then we had some overlap in them. What we did was one full day of the 2-week event. We did something we called Project Living Library, which was really, the first time we've done it. It's really cool. basically what we do is we have all of the PhD students um, basically give us a 5 minute overview of what you're working on. Everybody does it, so it takes a few hours. And then after that, we have all of our faculty in there listening. And then the PhD students have an opportunity to go to directly to our faculty to um, get insights or resources or even just network
Hmm.
to be able to expand because our faculty's from all over the place, but the PhD students are all from Bucharest. So it's like, how can we give them something like a gift from TCM that might be somehow unique to us? And it's like, well, our people. And so the whole day during that, it's just a bunch of high academics networking and talking about ideas. And while, 90% of it goes over my head, it is really cool
Yeah,
to like
right.
see and to listen to and experience. Um, and then the other way that we overlap is we brought in, I forgot his name. Oh, I forgot his name. He's the guy, Warner. That's his name.
Okay.
He's actually from Noblesville,
Okay.
and he started a thing called Deeper Walk, and it's basically like a course, but you can purchase all the materials online and like do it in your church. And we've adopted a lot of his work for our chaplaincy program. And he did like the last day of it, he just hosted as a conference for everyone. And so it got everybody in the same room
Good.
getting.
I would guess the Bucharest, PhD students are mostly committed Christians too, probably in Bucharest.
Mostly.
Yeah.
There's
I mean, that wouldn't
almost,
necessarily be the case in the United States in a theology department, but
and it's also not completely true of anywhere.
right.
I think everywhere has PhD level studies where you just get people who that's their department,
Yeah.
like they're just academics. And um, I wouldn't say that any of our students are that, but there's definitely an intrigue when they interact with us because our all of our degrees, our lifestyle, our culture is all about practical theology. Like, how do we
Right.
act this out in the world? And so I have noticed that there's sort of like like intrigue there. And it's good for discussion, I think. As long as everybody's willing to be in
Yeah.
dialogue with one another, I think it's all good. Um, but that event is chaotic in many ways because it's not one concerted effort. It's a few different things going on and different groups of people, and hosting everybody um, can be a little difficult,
Yeah.
especially in terms of like instead of having like a church service on campus that session, what
Uh-huh.
we do is we just take Kendra and I personally just took all of the volunteers to Vienna to our church.
Okay.
So that way we didn't make any assumptions about whatever, because they're not our students.
Right.
So there's like this, and I think most of them carpooled to a Romanian church in Vienna anyway. So
Okay.
but it's a little more loose. And like I said, it keeps you on your toes because it's not the same as everything else we did. But so that was a cool thing. But yeah, the event itself was good, but the downside to that event is that it runs through 2 weekends, which means the staff ends up working 14 days in a row, which is tough on everybody. So the week after that, I think we took like 3 days off during the week and just like, I don't know, for me, I crashed. Like
Yeah.
I day number one off, I didn't, it was not productive rest. I just like did what I had to do with Marigold and the rest was,
Yeah. Well, that's productive rest.
I suppose. Um, and so yeah, there's that at TCM, and we're next week we start session 5. So Um, right now we're in the preparation stages. The week before we're always cramped to get everything arranged. And yeah, and then I think the only other thing I'm trying to think, we haven't done much at our church because of the event. Nothing special with the church in Vienna right now. And then my thesis is still haunting me,
Uh-huh.
if that's the right word. Um, I I don't know. I guess I never grasped how much time it takes to I think my bibliography is like 54 sources,
Yeah.
and just mining all of that for like, the most minute details. I've never done anything that big. And so parts of it are painstaking, and then there's times where I'm like, this is super cool.
Uh-huh.
And then there's other times where I'm just tired of reading articles, like I
Right.
feel like I'm numb. But it's coming along. I've drafted chapter one. I'm outlining chapter two. The bibliography is built out. And I spoke to one of my mentors was here for the faculty meeting. His name's Mego. He's from Estonia, and he is I don't know. He's basically an ethics expert.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say that lightly. Like he's our ethics professor, but he's also served on like ethics boards for the Estonian government. Like
Okay.
he's a very accomplished person. Um, and somehow I have a very close relationship with him. So praise God for that. I'm not sure why. um, but he took an hour out of his time while he was here, and we went on you know, naturally we went on a walk to the monastery that's down the
Uh-huh.
road. Went and prayed in the old cathedral as we always do. But during that walk, I got to pitch him my thesis, and he gave me, more sources and things to look into. And I did find some really cool stuff about neurobiology, you know, uh, as it relates to the subject of trust and what happens in our brains. Fun. I'll give you one fun fact, and then I'll be done.
Okay.
Uh, there is a phenomenon that happens in the brain when another person does something for you that you don't feel is deserved. And what happens is your brain floods with oxytocin. And the articles that I have, the research that I even read a book on it. Um, the only other time that they can find oxytocin levels that high is when you have a baby.
Huh.
And so when people talk about, having a baby changed my life, or like I'm a different person now, there's like a very, like, yes, that's spiritual, that's divine in a lot of ways, but it's also like our biology itself is divine, like in some sense, like if we believe that we're made in the image of God. And so it was really cool for me to see like studies that show like the outcome biologically of loving your neighbor, especially somebody who's across some kind of sociological boundary that we have put up, like your enemy, for instance, and and how God has put something in our brains, right? Like having it flood with oxytocin to sort of open our minds up to the possibility that like um, that there was an intent with original creation and humanity, and that wasn't one that was divided. Um, and I don't know. That was like, I'm really glad I had that walk with him because he started talking about it, and I was like, I've never heard
That's interesting.
anything like this. And what would it be like to be the kind of person that, you know, some kid could just toss out a thesis idea and you're like, oh yeah, there's like here's these four articles and
Right.
what a walking library.
What?
That's wild.
What? Send me some kind of connection to that.
Okay.
That idea. My brain guy as of late is Ian McGilchrist. Did I mention him to you or not? He's done hemisphere studies on the brain, which you've heard the classical description, and he says it's sort of right and sort of wrong, but it's fascinating to hear him talk about how our brains work and how emotion uh, works in there too.
Have you read this? The other half of the church?
No,
This
no.
is
Oh, that's cool.
this is about how we've built our churches up for mostly thinkers that use one side of the brain
Yeah.
and how there's benefit to opening it up to the other side as well. It's a good one. But
We've built it
also,
to the left side, right?
I think so. I always mix them up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, yeah, I won't even get into McGilchrist stuff. You can find him online. He's all the time doing his spiel, and he's a cool old I guess he's British guy
Mhm.
and fun to listen to.
The neurobiology guy was Paul Zak.
Okay.
He's like a neurobiologist. He's not, I mean, this isn't like in any way a theologian.
Right.
So like part of the thesis is pulling from different disciplines and like synthesizing everything.
Yeah.
Um, but he writes mainly for people that are trying to. His big thing is is in the business sector.
Oh, yeah.
Like his big thing is building trust in in your company because it is profitable, which is not the thesis that I'm trying to write.
Good.
but I could draw
But
some of his
has an
conclusions.
application for sure. Yep. That's good.
So yeah, I think that's all my my running things that are going on.
Yeah. And I thought you had a class on First Corinthians that you really liked, right?
Yes.
Here's what I want to do. You were talking about when you get back in town, we do some kind of Bible study, team teach it.
Yeah.
And I think we should do First Corinthians.
I I think we should do that expanded to like have sections that are just about Corinth.
Yeah. 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 I'm
I
talking
think
about
that if
in depth.
people understood what was happening in Corinth, it paint it re to me it recolors all both of the letters
Yeah.
and by extension Paul a little bit.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm definitely down for that because I have one of my favorite commentaries is on First and Second Corinthians, and I had a whole class just on the city of
Yeah.
Corinth, and it meant
Well,
a
I
lot.
think that'd be fun. First Corinthians was what when Ross Logan decided to go back to the mission field when I was first at New Hope, an associate minister, when he decided to go back, he had started a series of sermons from the book of Revelation or from the First Corinthians,
Mhm.
and I took it over. So it was how I started, and I thought I'd like to end up and start Jacob off. I'm getting nostalgic in my old age. I just got this warning that your free meeting will end in 10 minutes. They're reminding me that I'm a cheapskate and won't buy Zoom time. So,
Yeah.
anyway,
Well,
so I can say from New Hope, congratulations on your baby. I can
yeah.
say we look forward to you getting here. I can say maybe, at least according to Haniel, you made the right choice with your hair.
Yeah.
and it's going to be fun when you get here. Now I need to actually get back to those folks I talked to yesterday and bring you down just a little bit because it was way too positive.
A good idea.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Later.
good meeting, I guess.
I guess it was, that was definitive. It was a good meeting. It was fun for me. All right.
Okay.
See you, bro.
See you later.